he's kind of like a toddler, like an angry, he's a toddler. He lashes out at people and he's vengeful and he says really nasty things.
I got thousands of DMs about putting this rebuttal together, so yes, your voices have been heard. And I'll give y'all my final thoughts on the end of this piece. Also, keep sending me your suggestions about other villains on social media who need to be exposed. But yeah, let's get right into it.
To say that there are things from Obamacare that are not positive, that's not true.
Tomi, I have a question for you. If an overwhelming number of Republicans support Obamacare provisions, such as pre-existing conditions and allowing young adults to stay on their plan, then why did 45 out of the 52 Republican senators vote for a clean repeal of Obamacare without replacement? Especially when you consider the fact that the Obamacare repeal was only supported by 15% of Americans. Doesn't it bother you that your representatives are not representing your interests, Tomi? Taxation without representation is theft. And as a libertarian, you should be on board with that, right? So what are your thoughts on healthcare exactly?
For me, I believe it is my right to purchase healthcare. I don't believe it's my right to pay for it for other people.
I really don't think you know how health insurance works, Tomi, because that's exactly how health insurance works. It isn't about wealth distribution, it's cost sharing, and if you care about your fellow Americans or your fans, even just a little bit, you would support that. But I don't think you really understand that, Tomi, given that you also advocated for abolishing the threshold for who can get healthcare only a couple weeks ago when you were too busy shitting on Obamacare.
You know what's sad? When hardworking Americans bust their asses to make a decent living, but fall just above the threshold of getting those government freebies.
I agree that these thresholds are a problem, Tomi, so you're basically arguing that they should be lower, right? It's kind of funny to me that you're absolutely unaware that you're making a case for universal healthcare coverage.
Oh, and are saddled with outrageous deductibles and premiums that make healthcare accessible on paper, but not affordable in reality. That's the real tragedy.
Yeah, that is a tragedy. It's also the tragic outcome of using a Republican healthcare plan created by the Heritage Foundation. You know the Heritage Foundation, right, Tomi? One of the more prominent right-wing think tanks that came up with the idea for Obamacare. The only Obamacare provisions you like are socialist amendments tacked on to a capitalist, market-based alternative to government-provided healthcare. Progressive provisions that Congress sneakily tried to keep for themselves while actively trying to take them away from Americans. Those same progressive provisions that you take advantage of.
Luckily, I'm 24, so I am still on my parents. Yeah, you can laugh.
Trust me, Tomi, it's better that they're laughing, because the scary realization that you advocate for the destruction of a system that would rip affordable healthcare away from millions as you continue to benefit from it shouldn't be taken lightly, and the alternative is probably much worse for you. But please go on, tell us what's best for the people.
For me, we all want what's best for people. I just believe that limited government is the way to do it. It's proven by the VA that the government doesn't do well in healthcare.
No, Tomi, it's proven that when you chronically underfund an agency as you launch more needless wars, as the number of patients in need of VA assistance skyrockets. It can't pay for shit. The VA absolutely needs to be better. We both agree on that, except that the privatized solution, Veterans Choice, which costs another $10 billion in subsidies to implement, has played out even worse for veterans than the VA, because private insurance does not have a vested interest in your care like the government does. It only cares about increasing its returns. But do go on, Tomi.
I also believe in allowing states to take more control. I think that will help them effectively manage their own citizens.
Except not all states are created equal, Tomi. For example, in the great state of Kansas, taxes are so low they can't even afford to keep schools open. So explain to me how Kansas will subsidize healthcare costs for its neediest citizens, specifically 150,000 Kansonians, if their budget is basically loose change that falls into the cracks of the office couch. But you don't need to think about that, you're privileged. And also, none of this really matters because Chelsea was unable to talk about a single lie that the president told off the top of her head. That's how bad she was.
He's lying almost daily. It's really scary to be lied to by the person that's supposed to be looking after you. How did he lie to you? Every day. What did he lie to you about? Well, what did he lie to me about? I mean, where do I start? He lies about, he says he doesn't say a thing. I mean, there's a whole list.
This is a president who came on the political scene with one of the grossest, most racist lies ever told, that Obama wasn't born in this country. I can't believe you couldn't remember that, Chelsea. Jesus Christ. Look, I'm upset about this because I don't think we should be whitewashing white supremacists by matching them up with famous TV personalities as if they're just two normal peers having a normal conversation. And I'm not against the conversation taking place either, but when Chelsea isn't capable of crafting solid counterpoints backed with data, that makes Tomi look good. or at least come across as informed, which is a problem because to her fans, and even new watchers, it makes the rest of her skewed perspective on things like race seem reasonable as well. If you're gonna give a platform to someone known for spewing thinly veiled hate speech, the least you can do is put someone else on stage who can call her out for making immoral arguments. And if you don't, and Chelsea definitely didn't, you're complicit in the regressive agenda she's spreading on behalf of private interest groups. I'm Hassan Piker. Please share this video with your friends if you think that Chelsea Handler didn't really handle Tanya Lasagna too well. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Hassan D. Piker and on Twitter at Hassan the Hun. And this has been The Breakdown.